Let's get things started. Gundam fight all set. Ready? Go!
Oh no!
Okay, take two. I think we've got this work. Oh, this is how it goes. Oh, I was off to a good start there. Oh, but you guys will never hear that the great opening I had. I didn't stumble over any words. I didn't make any mistakes. I didn't, say call someone the wrong name. Oh, there we go. It's Monday. It wouldn't be a stream without having some failure to it. You know what, Vince? No, Monday is not as bad as you think. This is just a coincidence. Okay? It is just a coincidence that this happened on a Monday. And that's it. All right. Well, if it's good enough for Neurotic to have these little audio problems, then it's good enough for me. So, I like to think I'm in good company here. But so, let's try this again. Hello, folks. It's Monday. We made it through another weekend, and it's time to kind of lean into the week and kind of get going. So welcome, folks, to the Mechpit chat. I am, of course, your host, Ironcaster, here to talk about everything, generally on the upbeat side of the pop culture, because there's far too much time for all that negativity out there. Uh, how are we doing, folks? And cue for the applause sound effects. Oh, let's see. Real quick, we'll go over this one more time. Hey, everyone. Hey, Dragon Master. Look forward to the game Thursday. By the way, folks, we are over on Discord, but I'm running some old school essentials, so come on by if you want to play a little D&D, a little tabletop, sling some dice, and hopefully not die in the process. Play your character. We'll wait and see. Here for the spooky. Yes, that's right. We are getting into spooky season. And I think that's a good place to start. So, guys, as we all know, spooky season is upon us. And around these parts, it starts around, it starts after Labor Day. Like, it's time to start put out the Halloween decorations, start to get the pumpkin spice, get the apple cider. You know, it is like the best time of year. I mean, it's sort of the opening the doorway ultimately into the holiday seasons. Because once we get into one, we start boom, 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 knocking them all out. And I tell you, I'm all here for it. I don't need that. So I have too many chat tabs open. So we are, like I said, we are rocking and rolling. And personally, I'm all about the Halloween season. I love the spookiness. You know, it's like it's time to start, busting out all the comforts. We bust out the flannel. We got to get comfy. We got to go ahead and bobbing for apples. Yeah, let's go. I'll just like kind of go in and try to corner one. Try not to drown in the process. Come on out and shake the mirror of it off like I'm some sort of dog who just jumped in the water. It'll be fun. But it's time to bust out all the classics, all those films that we always put on rotation, and it's always a challenge because there's just so many of these films that come out each year that add to the pile, and you're like, oh, I got my favorites, I gotta keep going to. Like, what's gonna be on the rotation this year? Am I gonna go watch Army of Darkness for the 1,000th time? Maybe. That'd be pretty groovy, I think. Maybe we're gonna go old school. We're gonna go with a little bit of Universal horror, get that black and white, get that kind of nostalgic feel going on. I think I'm all there for it. Or maybe you're a slasher fan who wants to go into all of the good gooey gore, and you want to see some high school campers in the woods just getting slashed and wrapped up in a sleeping bag and beaten against the side of a tree repeatedly on repeat. Catch just well, wait. It is comfortable, okay? And when you're in the Midwest, it's kind of like it's like you basically put on one of two things here. You put on like the flannel, or you put on the hunting camo, or maybe some bright orange so you don't get shot at. And you bust out the crock pot, the slow cooker, and you make some stew. You make a little warm dish. It's all good. It's part of the season. That's what we look forward to. As you get to go sip your nice warm drink, let me simulate this. Just imagine this is like orange. It's cider. It's sugary goodness. We'll just and that's what the season's all about. Mulled wine. Ooh, I gotta try that. I haven't done mulled wine. I'm in the South. It's really warm in the early fall months. So you get like kind of that. You get that like still hanging on summer, but you're in the South, so does it ever really go away? No. Sorry. All right, fair enough. You guys get kind of hit pretty hard by it out there. Currently around 40. Ooh. Yeah, that's a little chilly. Well, the problem is if I were to go and audition for Rings of Power, like I would be kicked out for being too good of an actor. Uh, speaking of good actors, we gotta bring on someone who's also a great actor, someone who pretends to be a sheriff. So let me bring him on real quick.
You know, that's about the same reaction I have to be calling an actor of a sheriff.
An actor.
You're right. I am a thespian at heart. Mm-hmm.
Alas, poor Punkwaddle. I knew him well.
I could hold a glass in my hand, the whole globe.
Swirl it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of wine. You know, some might think that one of the inspirations of Drunk Waddle was the wine drinking penguin from Billy Madison.
I thought it was absinthe.
Well, he did see the penguin though.
Oh. Well, no. See, I thought the absinthe was the inspiration.
Oh no. You have to be more derivative than that. A penguin holding a glass of wine is pretty inspirational.
Is it like that penguin in Wallace and Gromit?
Maybe. It's been a while since I watched that one. No, Pen is also an inspiration. Pen is a strong inspiration.
Pen is amazing.
Yeah, he's the sarcastic, doesn't care. Which is, I mean, I can be that if I need to.
We have a question for you, Punkwaddle.
Well, you know, in Texas, we do what a lot of other people do. We decorate. Everything's bigger in Texas, so obviously I'm not a big Halloween fan, so I don't really go to the Haunted Mansion things, but I know there's a lot of people who do. You know, I know some people that play with the Raspberry Pi and really have elaborate setups and, you know, different like motion sensor things. So yeah, in Texas, you know, hopefully you can find the neighborhoods that give out the full size candy bars instead of the, you know.
Oh, those are the good ones. But I guess I should ask if we're talking shooting, are we talking pumpkin chunking?
I for some reason I thought there was going to be a clip. You know.
Oh no, I have one ready, but
I would
do you
like
not know about pumpkin chunking?
I would love to know more.
Okay. It is almost exactly what you sound like. You see, we do a little bit of shooting of pumpkins, but we go medieval with this.
Yes.
And they say it's still going to this day.
Well, I'm so happy that they recorded, you know, Bobby's first trebuchet experience. And also, I love that the kids are wearing the safety yellow and safety orange jackets. Very, very conscious and aware of everything involved. But
well, also it's also the fact that it's probably somewhere up north. It's probably just cold.
yeah, but he's still wearing the safety colors, which is, you know.
What are we gonna build a trebuchet?
I mean, trebuchets would be fun.
At the other end is Liz waiting to get fed. Well, you see, the truth is that's the only way that you're gonna be able to feed her, because if you get too close, you get sucked into the black hole. Like gravity sucks you in.
Rough.
So anyway, how are you doing? How are you doing this week, Punkwaddle?
I'm doing all right. You know, listless receptionist, a Texas shaped or sized steak would be amazing. I have been to the Big Texan, but I did not take the challenge, which is, if you're not heard of it, it's out in Amarillo, and it used to be a lot more well known or famous. But it's like some like shrimp, jumbo shrimp, a baked potato. I can't remember if it's 5 or something, but then it's like a huge steak, and they give you a certain amount of time to do it. They actually have a table on an elevated table in the restaurant, so that if you eat it all, you get it free. But like, so anybody can take the challenge during any moment in operating time. So it's just kind of like this spectacle if somebody decides to take it, and people can walk up and look, but don't get too close and don't bother the eaters.
Well,
Um,
would you believe they have a 24-hour live stream?
yes, I would.
In fact, you can pull this up on the fly and see like the 72-hour steak challenge live stream.
Yeah, I've stood near that table, and I've never walked up to this table because, yeah, they also have a really nice Route 66 in Texas gift store next to it.
Well, I think we all know the truth of it is that you're camera shy and you don't want to be on camera.
Right. And also, people would be shocked to see a penguin eat a steak the size of himself. Although they do say one of the people who did it the most was like a small little lady who ate like 3 of steaks. Like, just holy cow, exactly. Yeah, holy cow indeed. Sacred cow is being slaughtered. But yeah, no, it's as for me, I haven't been eating as much steak as that. Now I regret it. But although the shrimp is nice. Yeah.
Let's see. Here, okay, so here we have the rules. The 72-hour steak challenge rules. The entire meal must be completed in an hour. If any of the meal is not consumed, i.e., swallowed, you lose.
Hmm.
You're allowed to cut into the steak and take one bite to ensure that it is to your satisfaction.
Hmm.
We'll start the time upon your acceptable approval. This time will not stop, and the contest is on. So make sure before you say yes.
Hmm.
You cannot stand up, leave the table, or have anyone else touch the meal.
Hmm.
You will be disqualified if anyone assists you in cutting, preparing, or eating your meal. This is your contest. My favorite rule here, by the way, you don't have to eat the fat, but we will judge this.
And to answer listless receptionist, I live in the greener and tree eater part. I've been all over Texas for different environmental and regulatory consulting jobs that I've had over the years. Thankfully, I don't have to travel as much as I used to anymore. But yeah, I'm in the part where when it rains, it's green, and when it's not doesn't rain, it's still pretty green. Not quite.
Texarkana? Is that how you say that?
Texarkana.
Oh yeah, duh.
I mean, if you
I don't
were,
know. I don't know why I dropped the X.
well, I mean, it could be Texarkana because there is a town spelled Mexica. Hold on.
I'm still looking at this, and it's
There's
like they've got statistics on the website. Uh, let's see, 93,849 people have tried to eat this steak.
hmm
10,351 have succeeded for a winning percentage of 11%.
I mean, you have to be more than just determined, you know. But no, there's a town I looked up. It's spelled Mexia, It's pronounced Mahia, like Tejas, but a lot of people, if you don't know, you'll say it Mexia. I just went through
That's how I
Mexia.
would. I mean, look, I come from the north where we put letters in that make no
Oh,
sense.
yeah. Well, okay. So, brief history lesson. If you didn't know, there, the Central Texas in the Hill Country, you had like German, Czech. I mean, obviously, we have the Six Flags Over Texas thing. That's a bragging point for Texans who believe they're, I don't know, bigger and better than everything. Whatever. Um, but we have quite an interesting, like down in Houston, where I was kind of my formidable waddling days were. There are some streets that if you read them phonetically, you will say that I'm wrong. But if you read them like if you say them out loud, you sound like a New Yorker. Like there's one that's a road called Kirkendall, but it's spelled like Quakendah. So it's a nice assortment of things, but like the German and Czech, and there's a lot of rich history down there that you kind of just accept as is.
So so I have one. I have at least one name here I want to challenge you with, and
Sure.
let me find an appropriate name here just to start us off because I think it'll be a fun one.
Okay.
So this is a town in Michigan,
Okay.
and just we there's a lot of German, there's a lot of oh a lot of Native American,
Hmm.
there's a bunch of Dutch, so we've got a good mix of a bunch of European weirdness to us,
Hmm.
and a lot of that Native American. So I'll expect a bit of French in there through as well. So
Okay.
here's a name for you. This may not be the best picture, but we'll go with it.
I mean, initial response would be Ypsilanti.
Yes, actually, you got that right. First try. Ding ding ding.
Mm.
And we'll do one more just because we might as well have a tourist trap for you, and that one it'll be fun. Uh, there's a famous little island here in Michigan, and we'll just go with this one. It's famously an island that people go to that you don't drive around on. Fuck, I got this wrong. I probably should have made you try to spell it.
Mackinac.
Uh, Incorrect.
Okay. I mean, that was. I figured I went for the obvious choice.
This is Mackinac. This is Mackinac Island.
Mackinac. Okay. Okay, I've heard of it. I just never.
I don't ask me why there's a W. Like apparently we decided we liked the sound of it and we added it in.
Um. So there's.
Fuck you. No,
So
I'm not even gonna try it. I'm like I gotta go call up like Roger at the Hay to try that one out.
so this is one that you guys are. Okay, so this is one that people have talked about. I think somebody tried to once. If you follow or aware of Nerdrotic, when he moved to Texas, they were trying to get him to pronounce this name of this town. You might have heard of it. I don't know if I should put it in the private chat or just put it in the chat. I don't know have you heard of that
Oh,
one?
there it is. Oh, that's a word.
Yeah, but there's another one. You should hear. There's another one that's kind of interestingly connected to it.
All right, I'm gonna pull up an image just so we have a reference for everyone out there.
Okay.
And we'll excuse me. Okay, so let me. Oh wait, there we go. We'll probably help if I actually add this.
Yeah.
Nacogdoches?
Close. It's. You want to try again? It's Nacogdoches.
Okay, I was close.
You were close, but
I just wanted to say douches.
No, that's fair. That's more than fair. But then, on the other side of the state is this one in Louisiana that I put in the private chat. If you can look up that one and figure out how to pronounce that one.
Let's see, it's French, so we obviously have to be snooty.
Yeah.
Nachitois?
Not quite.
Nachitoches?
Close.
Nachitois?
You're getting colder.
Oh.
Are you Googling pronunciation now?
No.
I will tell you. I will tell you.
Okay.
Unless you want to try one more time. But so this is pronounced Nagadish.
Oh!
But the funny thing is if you look at those words together, you would assume the pronunciation would have gone with the other word. Like Natchitoches sounds more like Natchitoches and Nakadish sounds more like the other one. So it's really entertaining. You seem broken.
This is why I stay where it's cold.
Fair enough.
Like I'm pretty sure that like we like we forced everyone out with like the cold weather to like to keep the strong up here.
Well, I mean, it is once you get over the Louisiana border, the roads get a little messier, and it's somewhere between French and Kunas. So, I mean, you just kind of have to take it with a few grains of salt. But those are really fun names to put next to each other and try to get people to figure them out. Yeah. I think he's still guys. No, okay. Louisiana has some really good food, though. Just don't expect to know what the words mean or how to pronounce them.
I will do one more here just because I think it would be a good little challenge to sort of end this little, name game off, and I have to say I think you've probably won it. So
well, only one of those is in Texas, but they work in tandem. So,
why did I not?
I feel like I might have been deducted points for that, even though it is a 1-2 punch.
Okay, so the last word, the last town for you.
Okay.
And this might be an easy one, so you might be able to get this right away because there's a little bit of French in it. So I think you're kind of prepared for this.
Maybe.
So kind of get a little loose, get a little limber,
Okay.
and let's see if you can guess this one on the first try.
Okay. Oh, I do know this Sault Ste. Marie, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the name.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That's I had to throw one out just to see if I could
No,
make that one work.
If it didn't, I didn't have the recollection of cross, analyzing things. It would have been Solstice.
The Sioux.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get up there sometime. It's actually speaking of all things, I got my travel paper today.
Nice. Got your traveling papers. I did spend 3 weeks driving around Michigan. I would say about 7 years ago.
Okay, so which part did you wind up going to? Because there's it's like were you above the thumb or below?
So I was in the lower section, but I started off in Romulus at the airport, right? And then we drove all the way over. We drove over to the west side. I know that we spent the weekend around there because I went to is it Bell's Brewery or whatever? Crap.
What goes above the thumb? Okay, so you go up. The thing is, you go above the thumb because again, the lower peninsula of Michigan looks like a hand, and we are the mitten state. I don't care what anyone from Wisconsin says. Like this is a fight we've been having with them since ever. Michigan is the mitten state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are two types of people who go above the thumb. It is hunters and youpers. You go up there because hunting is all you want to talk about. I went up north to hang out to go see my dad, and we decided to go to a bar We decided to do a bar crawl one day because it's a type of town where there's like a bar next door to a bar, and they are still well patroned.
Okay, sounds like fun.
So you go there, you walk in, and the first thing I hear people talk about is, "Hey, the boat! How's the boat? You get your boat in the water? The boat? You do any fishing? You get the boat? The boat? The boat? The boat? The boat? The boat? The boat?" I'm like, "Oh, what's all this? A boat?" I'm like, "Oh, it's gonna be like this." And we go, we have our drink, we leave, we kind of we stumbled into the next bar, for stability so you don't fall over. You gotta stop and kind of pace yourself a little bit, and then you gotta rehydrate. You gotta, get another drink.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We get in there, we sit down at the bar, we kind of, give me my mug, sit down. I'm like, "How's the boat? You get the boat in the water? You doing any fishing lately?" "Okay, apparently there's nothing to do here but fish." All right, it's gonna be like this. So we get on out. We by this point we're like, okay, we aren't gonna make it nearly as far. Luckily there's a bar next door. So we go back in. We sit down. Mind you, I haven't been up here. I haven't been in this town in years.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down, someone looks over and says, "Hey, I know you." I'm like, "What?" "Oh, son of a bitch. It's someone I knew when I used to live up there." And we sit down, we're talking. The first thing I off, "So you get your boat in the water?"
Yeah, hoser.
I don't think I'll maybe make it out of here. I better get a drink.
Better get a boat, because apparently that's the only way you're getting anywhere.
Right. Honestly, great little town. Like they lean heavily to the nautical theme. Just beautiful murals of of shipwrecks. Of they're tragic. They've got they're tragic. All the lives that have been lost because those Great Lakes are inland seas. They are super deadly.
Yeah.
But it's it's part of the culture growing up here.
So I don't remember exactly how far north. I know I made it. I might have gone a little bit up into the fingers of the mitten because that's when I was doing EPA compliance for natural gas.
Okay, so you
But
probably didn't make it up to like Traverse City.
now, and the other thing is we were doing the compressor station work for what that
Mm.
company. We weren't. So back then, I do compressor station work. I do gate station work, high pressured lines. So if we had to do the gate station work, I might have had to go up into the Upper Peninsula, but that wasn't what we were contracted out to do that year.
Um, I believe the super duper Yoopers are called Canadian. They look a little bit like red green.
Mm, yeah.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, no, it's you know. Oh, so little update for you, by the way, Punkwaddle.
Okay.
I'm getting my schedule cleared up for here at the end of the month to get together with all our fine felted brothers
Yeah.
of the Cotton Council, and I got one of the big hurdles I had to deal with is kind of helping look after Grandpa,
Mhm.
and that's been cleared away. So
Awesome.
just so I've got people who are gonna be able to come over and kind of help look after him, so I can get out of town for a few days. And that was the biggest challenge. That's been dealt with. I basically have the green light now to go ahead and go. So I got to go put in for my time off, which shouldn't be a problem. And then I will be on my way down on probably the Monday, or I'll probably leave Monday and drive most of Tuesday.
Yeah, just mosey on down. Take your time.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And then I should be making there by Wednesday.
Nice. I have I have driven from no, never mind. No, I have driven from middle north of North Dakota down to Texas before. That was like a 2.5 hour drive, 2.5 day drive. Um, yeah.
Oh, for just driving through all just Texas?
Well, no. So we were in mm, mid to North Dakota, and we decided it was Western Dakota. So when we looked at the times, it was just as easy to go down through Colorado and Denver than it would be to go to the other side. Because here's the thing, folks: when you're in the middle of America and you have a lot of lateral highways, but you don't have major thoroughfare south, you either kind of shimmy on over to a major road, or you spend your time slicing and dicing through highways to back roads to highways to back roads. And when you're in a company car, you're like, I'm going to justify going through the main highways because the last time we did this, we hit a deer, we totaled the van, we made it back to Christmas because we drove an hour and a half to the capital of South Dakota when the van should have exploded or seized up, but because it was negative 15 degrees, we made it home for Christmas. Like, it's like, I don't want to do that again.
So you had to live through the Jonathan Taylor Thomas movie Home for the Holidays?
Yeah. Yeah. At least it wasn't Home Alone. The polka band would be rough.
Yeah, but at least you get to hang out with John Candy.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that would be something nice in the time. Yeah.
You're hanging out in the back of like a milk truck, just freezing your butt off. Like, I don't know what's worse, the cold or the polka.
The good thing about that one, since we were there in December and we were doing regulatory work, we had very well insulated Nomex. So we could walk around in the negative 15-degree weather doing our job.
I heard you had mechs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we had no mechs. It was very sad.
Oh. It's
I like
sad.
Home Alone too.
See, I'm a little. It's a classic, but I don't know. It's something. Certain movies I'm not as big a fan of. Like I kind of like Home Alone 2 better than the original Home Alone, for example.
Okay.
I mean, they're both classic. They're both good. I kind of teeter on it, but they're not my favorite John Hughes films.
That's fair.
So, one other little thing I wanted to talk about briefly, and that was just kind of a little bit of a channel update of sorts. One little change I'm going to be doing with these live streams. Because StreamYards decided to do a lower price hike and decided to start trying to charge $40 for the service I use, which I really don't want to go ahead and like. I'm the 25 I'm paying now. I feel like I'm kind of paying more than I'm really getting out of it.
Yeah.
So they've just kind of given me the justification to probably jump off of paying that, save that money, and learn to use OBS with a little bit of Discord integration. So we'll be doing a little bit of that instead.
Okay.
Let me now I'll kind of show you a little preview of what I was messing with over there. So let me pull this. Whoa! Good thing I didn't have anything naughty up.
Hey.
Is this the?
This is picture in picture. Or Punkwaddle in picture.
Oh, okay. This is weird. Sorry. Let me. Is this the one I want? Oh, whoa!
This is Punk.
Hi there. Like, whoa! So if I were to go over here and jump in,
this is Ironcast.
It is. If I jump into this little voice call, then I should be getting. Where is this? There we go. Pop this up top. I got these little guys that can kind of pop up when people talk.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than having just sort of the camera off like this, and then you just kind of like it has something a little character you kind of have bouncing when you talk.
Do you get to make your own characters, or are they just prefabbed?
Oh, this is something you could set up yourself. So you could take a couple pictures of the little punk of your penguiny self, kind of mouth flapping open or closed, and you can kind of do a few things with that to play with it.
Okay.
I'll show you. We can kind of figure it out, check it out, and the fun thing is, for example, like the way I was kind of setting this up, it's sort of set up so anyone who hops into the voice chat with me gets this little pop up, and if you disconnect, it goes away.
Gotcha.
So it's nothing that I have to go and set up. I have to really do a ton of setup, but it's like I said, it's just a fun little thing to play with.
Yeah, and I haven't played with OBS that much, but
so Vince, basically what's going on is I'm building the show within OBS, and then I'm just having the Discord audio being piped in, and then I have a little plugin which will pull up a little character like that. So it's a little bit of behind the scenes setup, but again, for what I'm doing, it does the job. The only thing is I don't necessarily have my clips, but that's not the end of the world, and we can kind of work around that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They think they can fleece everyone, and well, the truth is there are alternatives out there. It's just StreamYards kind of became the de facto name to go to.
And yeah, the fact that I don't fault the people who, if they sold it off, got good money out of it, and then these people just think that, we have the name, we want to pay for the name, but if you're not going to provide the services, like I said, there's already good competition on the up and up, and so this whole StreamYard's selling it off, or the original owner selling it off when there's good competition where they have a possibility of not being the cutting edge anyway, but then somebody doing this cash grab. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but I think we'll all figure out how to make it work.
I mean, they went ahead. They got their money. They got their money's worth. They cashed out while they could. So good on them for that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of unfortunate. Like the new owners are getting very greedy, and while it's like there's a couple little features they added I do like. I don't really feel the need. It's got me to stop and reconsider my expense. And the thing is, I'll sit here. I'm like, I gotta, let's see. No, this I just got too many pixels. I gotta put this one back. I gotta undo this, redo this. Like I paid for this photo editing software. I'm gonna use it. No. Also, I can make a silly little anime character open and close her mouth.
Yep.
Oh, you know what we could do? We could do for you. Oh wait, we could take that idea and then we just have like a Zaku head, and all we do is like the Zaku head, the light, the eye just glows when you talk and then goes out when it goes off.
That would be hilarious.
It's a simple idea. It's just really basic. It'd be probably 5 minutes of effort in like Photoshop.
Okay.
Digital wizardry. Rawr. I cast slow internet.
No. I do appreciate Vince Womack's comment from a few minutes ago saying that 40 minutes in the first mention of mechs is we're dropping the ball like Bayformer's Devastator.
Well,
Well played.
you know, it's the thing is a little tough sometimes to. It's a little tough to stick to the one topic, especially when I do have a lot of other interests, like my tabletop RPGs and all this other stuff. So I'm like, I do want to talk about that stuff, but I also do want to talk about a little bit of D&D. So, I can go like tease, Dragon Master here who's in my D&D game, and like be like, oh yeah, so I'm kind of working on all this stuff over here, and I'm like, here, let me. As I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna. I'll spend maybe 20 minutes or so at a time working on some stuff, and I'm like, yeah. Here's this place I'm working on. Here's a bunch of notes I'm kind of working down. And I'm like, yeah, this is all gonna be super relevant, and no, nothing he needs to worry about. We'll just kind of, a lot of ideas. I'm like, and he's not going to go ahead and show on. He's going to go ahead and he's not going to see the page where I keep all the notes about how I plan to kill his character off.
Wait, what?
I mean, don't worry about that.
Okay. I'm already just a Force Ghost anyways.
If I had an avatar of that, I'd want to DMC5 Nero or Guts from Zerk. I mean, the thing is, it's just a couple of PNGs you can upload to like a website that's running the software for that. It's basically in the background. I think you basically sign up with your Discord, upload like your 2 pictures, and you're done.
Nice.
So it's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes of work on your part to upload something, and you're done.
Because I know DJ Ronnie G uses something like that for his StreamYards already. The little pilot for the Gundam pilot or something.
Okay.
I've seen him pop it up a couple times.
It might be the same software, the same idea. Let's see. Can I comment on a movie? Sure. What movie are we talking about? And then the awkward silence.
Yeah. I'm scared.
Oh. Actually, I did get one thing in the mail today. Let me.
Ooh, show and tell.
Turn off the camera. Yep. Oh, let me.
Well, we're prepping for show and tell. We don't show anything till it's time.
Oh, no.
All right.
So. There we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da, as Culture Casino would say. I got a little package from Renegade Game Studios in the mail today, and they sent me about 3 or 4 items.
Oh.
They sent me, for some reason, folders.
Okay. Cool.
Which
Where's your
I
trap
wonder.
keeper?
That's a good question. I mean, the only downside that they don't have the hole ring punch on them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is that
But
plastic?
it's like kind of that. It's paper. It's like paper stock.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It is. It would be good for just kind of holding character sheets. But I like the back. I like this on the back.
That's classic.
Here, let me blow that up.
In the same way that Rita Repulsa would. Because she made everything bigger. When
She's gonna make your monster grow. What?
So she was on a small. The actress was on a small, like, doing appearances and little local cons and stuff. And she was actually right after they announced that they were stopping everything and the sale for all the Hasbro stuff or the Charger stuff. I could have gone and met her, but oh well. That's nice. Oh yeah,
it's another binder, another folder like that one. So real straightforward. Here's a little ladder for the mechanic of the game. Little stuff you might need to know on how to play on the inside cover. Real basic, straightforward.
Sweet.
I'll say thank you all the same to Renegade for throwing those in with my purchase. But I did actually, speaking of Power Rangers and that, I got a time travel adventure for Power Rangers.
Awesome.
Which, it's a little 32-page adventure that has some monsters in it. You can go fight a dragon man, like a dragon fruit man. Fight a black knight.
That's fun.
And just fight a dragon.
Cool.
The little time travel adventure. And I think I paid like $10 for it, and I was kind of looking forward to that. But then I ordered this book just came out. I just got my copy in the mail. The new G.I. Joe source book for factions and actions, which of all the villainous factions in the game, it finally gives us info to play as ninjas and as the Dreadnoks, which I think are probably the two. Aside from Cobra, are like those are the factions you want to play. Like you want to be a freaking ninja.
Yeah.
And maybe one day I'll get around to running it, and it's just sort of on the back burner on the list. Let me see. That trailer for Nosferatu came out and it looks great. It's a spooky movie, but it's coming out at Christmas. Wonder if you saw it. I have not seen it, but it's been on my radar as something I did want to get to checking out. Punkwaddle, have you seen it? Have you seen the Nosferatu trailer?
I have not. I did heard that it did drop today, but I have not had a chance to watch it.
Yep. And that's sort of the unfortunate thing is like there's a bunch of movies I do want to get to, but time and a little bit of money hasn't really allowed me. Like I want to go watch Megalopolis. I do want to go see Transformers 1. I just haven't had a chance for those yet.
I concur. Like the Transformers one, like I know they kept talking about how it's a financial flop, they say, but I do think there's word of mouth, and I do think that there are people that seem to like it and appreciate it. So I think it's going to have a positive response. I don't know how much money it'll make, but as far as people appreciating it as being a Transformer fan and respecting lore, it seems better than anticipated.
Well, the thing is, you're gonna have people who are be your G1 diehards who basically will not care what happens, what's come out since then. Like if you don't do G1 like properly, it ain't Transformers to them. Right. And it's just kind of a byproduct of the reality of, look, Hasbro basically wrote a new franchise Bible out in the 2000s. It's been like that for the last 20 years, and it will. And unless they change it again, it's always going to be like that. That's just sort of the reality of that. But the thing is, as far as Hasbro's concerned, if that movie sells toys, it's a success for them. Like, sure, they want to break into Hollywood. And they want to get in big with that. But at the end of the day, they're still a toy company, and if they can sell enough toys to offset the cost of the movie, then it's a win.
Well, that, and they need a win in the toy department lately.
Yeah, they could thank Disney for the sorry state of things.
Well, Disney, and aren't they connected with Wizards of the Coast?
Hasbro owns WotC.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that kind of interplay and unfortunate topple over cross contamination in ways that have been a little rough. But I'm not trying to get into politics of that, but it's
no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's a lot going on with Wizards of the Coast and the Hasbro stuff that just kind of is sort of there, that isn't like a political or culture, or the woke culture problem that are going on. It's like, no, they have problems going on that aren't those, and aren't necessarily caused by those.
Right.
Like, yeah, they put out a new edition of the rule book because 5th edition is the longest lasting edition. It's been 8 years since 20. It's been about a decade since the 2014 edition. Mm-hmm. They're overdue for they're probably overdue for a new version, and plus nothing sells like a player's handbook, so of course they're going to do that.
Yeah.
Magic is a whole other kettle of fish, because a lot of competition has come online for there, including what I was just hearing about today. I wonder if I can find this. Since one of the little realms of topic that we talk about is some mechs, I figured why don't we bring up one story here, because it is sort of in that ballpark.
Okay.
Bandai is teasing a Gundam trading card game.
Oh, really?
And Bandai certainly wants to beat Hasbro at the card game scene, because they are bringing all sorts of card games online for all their stuff.
Oh,
I think they're tied up with the Ultraman card game that's coming out right now. I know they're certainly tied in with the One Piece trading card game. You've got Battle Spirit Saga is another one out there. Of course, Disney has their Lorcana. Yu-Gi-Oh is still as big. Pokemon is still around. The Magic has a lot of competition. They've been there's been a lot of shaking the boats there going on.
Yeah, I mean it's bound to happen eventually.
Bandai teased a new Gundam trading card game as part of their upcoming Bandai Card Games Next planned presentation. The announcement was a short and delivered via a teaser trailer. The only real information imparted to fans is that the new TCG was coming, and the company revealed a card back for the logo of the game. The teaser will be followed up on October 3rd, with more details of the project coming at the Bandai Card Games Next planned presentation. This is not Bandai's first go-around with the Gundam card game. In 2005, they released an English version of Gundam War CCG in the US. The English version was discontinued after only 3 sets, but the Japanese version lasted 45, all the way up to 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, now that I read that, I'm starting to remember seeing the cards, and I remember it was really based around Gundam Wing, because it was 1998, and of course it was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's about all we know. That's the back.
It'd be interesting to see, do they have, what artwork do they use? Do they use new depictions? Do they just use box art? Do they use stylistically how they're gonna depict each machine and each character?
Well, I mean, they've got a lot of art that you could really kind of play off of. Yeah, box art is a good go-to for that, but you frankly could kind of recycle a bunch of animation stills.
Right, from the shows. Yeah.
Especially for your protagonist, if you want to have hero cards or pilot cards. Which, could be fun to have, you treat it as you're deploying a squadron of soldiers, so you want to have to point buy up, so you might have to have a bunch of, buy in a faction, so you have I'm gonna be playing Xeon and you can play Zaft.
Yeah. I hear you.
But when I was talking about all the hardships of Wizards of the Coast, there was a couple of little stories in this ballpark that I thought I would just kind of touch on briefly and to show off. Did you know that there was Did you know there was going to be a Magic the Gathering Netflix series?
I did not. Apparently, it's still not going to happen.
No, everything is being dropped. Like there was a D&D show that was, I think, supposed to have been done with Netflix that just also died on the vine.
Well, yeah, because what they had a good movie, but that was a couple years ago now.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I am missing a couple chats here. Let me go back real quick just to touch on these.
Okay.
Awesome one. Yeah, you let's see. You saw Megalopolis. Actress great concept. Gets nowhere near the original silent. Oh, you're talking about Nosferatu.
I think he's talking about.
Maybe Metropolis.
Yeah, he's talking about Megalopolis.
Huh. Do me a favor. Give me a correction on that. Yes, that was the other thing. Was the Commander ban list, which became a whole mess of a thing. Because basically a bunch of cards got announced being banned in Commander, including a couple cards that are like very specifically like designed for Commander. Like the only format this card works in is Commander because it specifies your commander in the command zone.
Oh.
And the thing was, people treat Magic like it's a stock. Like people invest like $150 in a card, $200 in a card. Like the Power 9 are like thousands of dollars for those cards. They're seen as having that value. They're seen as always having that value.
Got it.
And then some stuff comes along, these cards get banned, and now a $150 card is worth $30.
Yep. I mean, unless you're a collector and you want to have the card that existed, right? You might put a higher value on it.
Well, sure, but I mean, there's also that perceived value. If you buy something, if it's like you bought a. You feel a little ripped off when like let's say you buy a game and then like a week later it goes on sale for $10 off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They won't give you the price guarantee or price match or anything.
Oh, let's see. Actually, I love Gothic horror. It needs to come back. We need to have a serious return to like the Gothic horror aesthetic. Like, give me some Gothic horror. Give me some Art Deco. Like, I want something stylized. I don't want like the drab, like communistic kind of like corporate, art style.
Mm-hmm.
It's all gray blocks. No.
I was being silly, Vince. I know we're talking about Metropolis. I just, yeah. I use the wrong word sometimes for comedic value, or I think so, but then it's going to be confusing.
So anyway, one of the things that happened with Magic was apparently this outside group that is sort of oversees the Commander rule set, which is because Commander started, I believe, as a fan format.
Okay.
And well, the ban list like became such chaos. Prices on the secondhand market were in such flux. People were talking about getting away from it all. They hate it. It became so bad that like it just came out today that Wizards of the Coast is taking over the Commander format. So basically, the committee that's in charge of what is and is not allowed in this format that Wizards of the Coast now sells like entire lines for is now being officially taken over by them. It's going to be oh boy, I can't wait to see Wizards of the Coast in their ever driven urge to have everything be $1 billion company. Put everything around this, around like these formats, so that they then immediately like throw out the ban list.
Okay. Sorry, Vince. I thought you were talking to me.
Wizards of the Coast explained their plans for curating the commander format for Magic the Gathering. The post started commanding the commander rules committee, a small group of 5 passionate, talented individuals. Critically, the post called out bad actors that have been harassing the CRC recently. Due to the escalating outrage of the recent events, the personal threats have been sent to the committee members. WotC expressly states, "Yeah, zero tolerance policy. We can't have that. This is something we will not tolerate, no matter how you feel about it. It's in Magic. It's never appropriate to threaten somebody." And completely agree. If that's actually happening, completely agree. That said, we have. It is worth pointing out we have seen in a lot of cases people using that as sort of a defense. It's happened on occasion, but in this case, I do believe people got completely upset over these rules changes with Magic, and went too far.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I haven't really played Magic in a long, long time, but in the late '90s, I played with some friends, and I inherited a few decks and a few sets of cards, and they're still sitting around. They probably have some value. I don't know how many first editions I have, but I do have from '94 to '96 editions. It's the majority of the
It
cards I have.
Well, I mean, the big issue you're probably gonna have is the power creep, which
Yeah,
never really rolls into any game.
right.
Yeah, that power creep is just gonna make like certain cards that at once upon a time were insanely good, kind of
No,
worthless. Like,
right.
oh, this 4/3 for 5 that doesn't really that only has flying. Yeah, no, that's kind of a terrible card.
Right, like I said, I don't necessarily expect them to have, unless you have just a certain version, or you know what I mean. Unless it's a
Yeah.
first edition, I don't expect it to be that exciting. But I've managed to maintain them in storage over the years because, yeah.
Well, maybe when I come on down, I'll bring a couple of decks and we'll just like play some Magic for fun, just because. Why not? I will say myself, I haven't really bought much in the way of Magic in years. In fact, I've got a big old like fat stack of like this of like
Mhm.
unopened Magic packs. Like I can't even hold them all in one hand because the idea was like some chaos draft I was going to do, and you know, I, I just like a little kitchen table Magic on occasion now. Maybe around the holidays. But yeah, no, this is just kind of a big little story going on. Basically, this was a fan community effort. People are getting harassed, and it's gotten to the point that they're kind of throwing in the towel, and it's being handed over.
Okay. One more to the
And
overlord.
yep, we'll see what happens as a result of this. I'm kind of afraid that they're going to hyperfixate upon finding new ways to kind of change the format to sell more cards because WotC wants to sell product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And I touch on it now and then. I don't really know if it's really a video I should do or just a conversation about it. But like the hobby's fun. You invite friends to be part of the hobby, and then somebody sees this hobby as something like, we need to monetize this. We need to share this with the world. Like we need to make this into a thing. First, they just want to share with friends, and it's like, no, we don't just share it. Like we need to make a thing. You can make money this way. And like, okay, cool. Like you're providing this idea, this game. Of course, your creativity deserves some monetary compensation because you're creating something that people want to be a part of. And then somebody else comes on like, oh no, we really want to make money and we want to make it into a business model. And the creatives are still a part of it, but then there's the business, and all of a sudden, like you see now, it's like sometimes the hobby space, which was just this fun, just a way to do something other than stress, life, work, just something to kind of have this fun relaxation space, has turned into another a chore, business. It's like, I don't want to give up the hobby, but do you need a hobby for your hobby, or do you need to, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, it's a matter of when do you need it's one of the matters where you almost need an escape from the escapism.
Exactly.
It starts becoming more like a job, and yeah, it fundamentally changes the way you were able to enjoy that before, and it's always kind of a tragedy to see that happen because it's these things start out of a passion and then they become serious.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Maybe I did kind of talk a little bit about that, and that might be my part of the commercial for my Ice House video this Saturday. But you could find out if you want to stop by.
Oh, do that.
Yeah.
But one other little thing I thought I would kind of bring up and just kind of run by you guys. Well, since you guys are always here, you Punkwaddle, and everyone out in the chat, yeah, Dragon Master 360, Awesome One, Vince, Listless. One of the little side projects I'm working on is I've talked about my little D&D game, my old school essentials. And one of the things I'm thinking about doing with that is maybe doing a little post session, play report update of what was going on with the game and kind of as my little world is updated and continues to change. It's something I've been spending quite a bit of time on, and I figure I probably should just go ahead and make some little notes of what's going on and kind of put this stuff out there into the aether. And who knows, maybe people might have a little interest in it to see what I'm kind of doing with this idea.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I've got stuff going on that will the software load? Probably won't load in time. It's something I've been working with and slowly fleshing out, and I feel like maybe I should probably document a little bit of this and show off the world. And maybe it's not like I'm trying to ask permission or anything, but it's something I'm working on, and hey, I've got my little world I'm starting to put together. There we go.
Okay.
If I can zoom in a little closer. Whoa.
A little too close.
It's got just a lot. I zoomed in so much that it needs to process hundreds and hundreds of tiles across a massive, massive map. I'm like, oh no, I pushed a button I shouldn't have.
Uh-oh. Now, Listless Receptionist asks a great question, though. What's your policy on permadeath?
So, characters are going to die. But the player's still allowed in the game. You can just roll another character. In fact, with my game, one of the goals was to tell people they can have multiple characters. And one of the other things we're doing is I've got two groups kind of going on right now that have some interest in this. And so I've got a group I get together with about once a month, but they're playing in the same map, the same world. It's just that they aren't seeing as much changes to things going on as the group that's playing weekly. And it's just, I want people to kind of come in and play, and it's a little sandbox I can put together that people can take part in. That was sort of the idea behind it.
Okay. I'll be honest, I've not done too much tabletop myself. I've done some instances here and there, but I haven't done anything long term.
Well, it's something I want to open up, and I want to kind of help people, find a little more escapism, because this is one of those little interests I've had. And look, I've got shelves full of books that I just have not had a chance to get to yet. So I need to start doing something with this stuff, and maybe we'll make some videos.
Yeah, I do want to. I was just wanting to call back that she did say earlier that she likes necromancy, so maybe the death thing plays into that.
Ooh, Punkwaddle, you better watch out. She's gonna kill you in game.
No, don't reanimate my penguin sheriff corpse, please.
Sir, I encourage this. I look forward to seeing Laios. Actually, the thing is, I've got little notes like written around everywhere from like just stuff I keep picking up over time. I'm like, hey, what about like a race of penguin people? Like, I'll have to jot this down. Largely, the game has been sort of off. Has been just like mainly just Discord calls that were kind of letting people come in. It wasn't something I was looking to necessarily make direct videos on, and I don't know, maybe one day. But for now, we're just gonna have a little relax and chill. But I think I might have to be calling it. I think this might be a good place to call this because my throat's starting to kill me. I'm starting to feel a little raw there, and well, I think over the next week or so, I'll probably do a little bit of test streams. We'll work out the software. Maybe we'll bring a couple people in. We'll make some characters, and we'll do something on the channel while we get things rocking and rolling. And who knows? Maybe one of these days you'll be maybe one of these days you'll be able to come join us, Punkwaddle.
Maybe. I know I didn't to do it.
I want to invite all sorts of people who've never played games before, people who are veterans. I just want to have some fun and roll some dice and maybe make a terrible dwarven accent, and maybe we'll make some puppet people at some point.
Maybe just finger puppets for bigger instances, but yeah.
Well, they gotta level up and eventually get the whole fist.
I've evolved.
And they're like a Pokemon. They start off with like a little finger puppet, and they evolve into like the full-on hand puppet, and by the end, it's the giant monster sack puppet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. My throat is bothering me. Guys, look forward to see you guys around this week. I'll be on with Pops and Loki tomorrow for Talk Hard. We're talking about hackers with Arwen and Squeaka, who's by the way is a regular part of the show. Punkwaddle, what's coming up for you?
Well, possibly hanging out with Snacks tomorrow if he does that, and then we'll see. We'll see what's up. I got my Penguin Positivity dropping on Tuesdays now. My PSAs Friday mornings, and then trying to do the Ice House on Saturday. So I'm trying to get some short form and longer form content out to you guys. So not just the Ice House that sometimes ends up at like 15 minutes and when you're going to find the time for it, but a little bit here and there, little blurbs. And haven't got to live streaming on my own channel, but we'll get there.
Guys, be sure to subscribe to Punkwaddle. He's one of the best of us out here. He takes a lot of time out of his day to come by to hang out with people like me to talk about all this silly mech stuff. If you want to come by, maybe work out a little bit of D&D, kind of join us for a session or something. Join the Discord. It's down in the description. Vince has dropped the link to it. Guys, thank you so much. And until next time, we will. We're going to Detroit.
Take him to Detroit.